This is my opinion. And my impression is that the man who carried it out was a provocateur.
The great hope of the Cuban exiles during Kennedy's presidency was the amphibious landing at the Bay of Pigs. Instead, it was a victory for Castro. In the wake of the exiles' defeat, President Kennedy seemed to provide the boost of morale the exiles needed.
Castro and his fellow dictators may rule nations, they do not rule people. They may imprison bodies, but they do not imprison spirits. They may destroy the exercise of liberty, but they cannot eliminate the determination to be free.
Thousands of dispossessed Cubans gathered to hear the president in Miami, and the promise in his words was just what they wanted to hear.
I can assure you that this flag will be returned to this brigade in a free Havana.
The speech was rapturously received, but in the crowd were many who blamed Kennedy for not intervening at the Bay of Pigs. U.S. authorities were now actually preventing many guerrilla raids against Castro, and some suspected Kennedy was going soft on communism. In the eyes of some CIA-trained militants, Kennedy had become a traitor to the cause. At that time, in late 1962, Jerry Hemming, ex-Marine and intelligence operative, was training anti-Castro guerrillas. He worked with some of the most violent Cuban militants, with the most passionate feelings about the exile cause.
Were you ever offered money to assassinate President Kennedy?
Directly, on numerous occasions. In our activities seeking support for the Cuban exiles, we encountered people from most of the what we'd call a varied political spectrum. The majority of them right-wingers, conservatives, anti-communists. Within these elements, groups of people, there were quite a few very outspoken. As relationships developed and as time went on, some of them very pointedly made statements as to how to resolve the communist menace, how to resolve Castro. Quite often it would boil down to, why are we wasting our time trying to get Castro? Why don't we go to the root of the problem and eliminate the communists in Washington, the #1 man, JFK?